Hey there! Today we're going to have a look at a pen by Montegrappa. It was lent to me by Ioana Cell in Spain, and interesting pen. The Fortuna model, but the rainbow finish. So let's have a very quick look at the box. It has this cardboard outer sleeve, and you have this box. It's the standard Fortuna box, so you may have seen this before. Has a little booklet with information, how to clean it, fill it, etc. And a couple of cartridges with silver-colored Montegrappa imprint, which I always think is nice. It's a nice detail. Okay, then there is this pen, the rainbow pen. Resin, shiny resin, polished stainless steel. So simple design. I have reviewed a Fortuna before, but this is an interesting finish. I'm going to cover the parts of the pen, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. Finial, 1912. Bit of, I'm thinking, yes, I think laurel and a Greek key. We have the cap, clip, with a little wheel, like that. Montegrappa center band, and of course you have the rainbow colors. It is obvious this is a pen that kind of commemorates tolerance, which I think is an excellent idea. I mean, you know, with the world not always being tolerant and all. Here we have the section. I like that the colors match, so the colors of the barrel and section kind of run along pretty well. Not perfectly, but definitely pretty well, which is a good thing. This is a broad nib, just steel nib, broad nib. You don't see a lot of tipping. I'll come back to that. Section is very simple, just tapers down. Not a huge pen, but large enough to use unposted, I would say. If you really want to, you can post it though. So it's cute. The pen is cartridge converter filled. Simple, comes with a Montegrappa converter too. And that's pretty much all there's to it. So, final thing I wanted to show, clip. Very stiff. How does it work? It works because of the wheel. Okay, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, there's a couple of things I like about it. As I said, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing to show off that you're a tolerant person. That's, you know, once in a while it might not be too bad an idea. I like that, so I like what it stands for. The Fortuna shape is simple. The slightly bulbous cap and then the simple barrel. It's simple, I like it. I like the looks. I like the fact that it has threads that are, it's a big, so we call that large threads, so they're not super sharp, although you do feel this end of the barrel. That's pretty sharp. The threads themselves are not very sharp, so it's comfortable to hold. I like that. So I like the design, I like the looks, I like that the clip has a little wheel, it all works. It costs $350. It's about, you know, street price, I would say, which I find fairly high. Steel nib pen, cartridge converter, 350 is definitely starting to put you in gold nib zone, I would say. My biggest issue with the pen is the nib, and I have had this issue with other Montegrappa pens too. I've had this with the Mule, I've had this with the Espressione. The problem with them is twofold. This is a broad nib that writes like a medium at best. Some might even say it's a fine, because for some brands this would be a fine. I think I have an Omas Paragon that has the same line width, and that is actually a fine nib. So there's not a lot of tipping, and it's a pretty thin line. That's not necessarily an issue though. I mean, could be broader, as long as it writes well. My issue with these nibs is that they are very dry. I reviewed a Fortuna Marrakesh, which had a nib that was actually very nice and wet, but as I said, the Mule is very dry, Espressione, very dry, And this nib is very dry too. So dry that I pretty much have to prime the feed every time before I start to write. And that I think is a bit too much. If you are launching a $350 pen, then you should also write properly and have a nice flow. It doesn't mean it need to be a gusher, but it shouldn't be so dry that it barely writes, which is something this pen has definitely done a few times as I was trying it out. So that I don't like so much. Having said that, again, interesting design. I like the colors. It's very playful. I like what Montegrappa did there. It's a cute pen. Let's see how it writes. That's very important. High resolution pictures of the pen will be on the website, sbrebrown.com, as well as measurements of the pen, and that's it. A kind thank you again to Iwana Cell for lending me this. I appreciate it. Hope this was useful so far, and I'm glad to see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Montegrappa Fortuna Rainbow. The nib is broad and the ink is Caron dash saffron. This is smooth paper, but I'm sure you have noticed a skip or two. And the other issue I have is, for example, here was one, there was another one. The other issue is, for me, that this is just not a broad. It's more like a fat-ish medium. Let's do some fast writing. So there's definitely some skips. It's also not the smoothest writing experience in the world, to be honest. Wetness, not bad. Line variation, definitely some to be had. And another skip that could have been me misaligning the nib, but reverse writing, for those who enjoy that, you get a even finer nib, but you also see it starts to run dry fairly quickly. So there you have it. I thank Iwana Cell for lending me this pen for review. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Somewhere over the rainbow, where Milcockfield lives. It's so beautiful.